SICW wrestling fans. Welcome to another Sunday night episode of SICW All-Star Wrestling. We start tonight by wishing the mothers a happy Mother's Day, Herb.
Happy Mother's Day. I mean, I hope everybody had a beautiful day. That's what it's all about, Mother's Day. And I am so glad to be here. A little bit of rest, maybe.
You look a little tired, yeah. But we are just hours from the conclusion of a great night of wrestling, a great day of wrestling. Yesterday was just incredible.
It was probably in 50 years one of the best time that I can remember. I mean, people walking around with the SICW shirts on, fans coming up. It was just from the, they were standing in line before the doors even thought about opening. And I just can't thank each and every one of you that came out and supported. And I've got to thank all the legends. There was too many of them to thank individually.
Some of them are still in town right now.
Yeah, some of them stayed over. They wanted to go in and take some of the landmarks downtown St. Louis and over on the east side. So, but what a great night! Everything from the Hall of Fame to the great wrestling event that took place in the evening. But I want to thank all the vendors who came and set up their tables. It was just, I believe it would be a day that's going to be remembered for a long, long time.
Herb, a day that won't be able to be repeated. I mean, to bring that many legends and that much talent into one location, and this was the right place to do it. Bring them back to the home of wrestling, back where wrestling started here in St. Louis.
Well, and you couldn't help but feeling when you were talking to the fans, and they'd start talking about how they listened to Larry Matisek on Sunday call the play-by-play, or the matches when they went down to Kiel Auditorium, and they'd get a chance to see Sam Muchnick sitting up in the audience, and it was just great to hear those type of memories that the fans had.
Absolutely, Herb, and we're going to have a lot more in the coming weeks about all of the events. We're still trying to process everything that happened last night. For the fans that were there, lots of big surprises.
Yes.
For the fans that are following us here that couldn't make it, in the coming weeks, we're going to bring you many more recaps, show you some footage of what all happened last night. It's definitely going to be some time to remember, so you're going to need to stay tuned the next couple weeks. Herb, we talk about big events, and there's nothing bigger than the one coming up Saturday, June 3rd, when you're helping put on a fundraiser for a great public safety professional here in the county.
Well, as we said many times in the past, we go from one event to another, and I can't think of a better way to do that than June the 3rd. We're going to be assisting for a big fundraiser for Sergeant Patrick Carrier of the Dupo, Illinois Police Department. Sergeant was shot in the line of duty a couple of months ago, and he's on the road to recovery, and all of his brothers and sisters and the law enforcement is coming together along with the fire industry and the EMS to help make it a little bit easier on his recovery. And SICW is really honored to be asked to do that. And it's going to be on June the 3rd at the Belle Claire Fairgrounds.
Absolutely, Herb. And the way people can be a part of that is go right now to SICW.org and get your tickets. Tickets are available. Sponsorships are available. We've had many businesses and individuals coming forward saying they'd like to sponsor this event. Sponsorships are available there on SICW.org. Starting a little earlier than normal, we're starting at 5 o'clock with an emergency vehicle display.
Yeah, getting a lot of buzz about that. The youngsters like to come out and look at all the emergency vehicles, and it's a good way for the parents to bring them out and let them see what the police and the fire and EMS actually get out there and do. And of course, that'll be at 5, and at 7 o'clock the bell will ring, and we'll have a full evening of SICW action.
Absolutely, going to be a great night. Herb, you were able to catch up with Sergeant Carrier a couple weeks ago and talk about his recovery and why this event is important to him and his family.
Well, and it was an interview, and I want to just let everybody know it gets a little tear-jerking there for a while, because it was a very, very trying time, and it was touch and go for Sergeant Carrier there for several days for his family. But we thought it would be important to let you hear from him just what he remembers about this incident, and how grateful he is for everybody coming together to help him.
Absolutely. Let's take a few minutes and listen to that great interview between promoter Herb Simmons and Duplo Sergeant Pat Carrier.
Good day, Facebook followers. Herb Simmons coming to you, and normally, as you know, I do a lot of Facebook and YouTube updates on SICW Professional Wrestling, and so this is kind of that, but this is a special one today. We've been telling you off and on for the last several weeks about a big fundraiser we're going to be doing on Saturday, June the 3rd at the Belle Claire Fairgrounds in Belleville, Illinois. And our topic of the day is the gentleman that we're going to be helping out. And I'm talking to my friend here, Sergeant Pat Carrier of the Duplo Police Department. And for those of you who follow us and follow the news, you know that on February the 26th, a terrible incident took place involving Sergeant Carrier. And we just want to come to you today with him, just to kind of let you know why we're going to be helping him out come June 3rd. And first of all, Sarge, thank you for talking with us today. And can you tell our viewers kind of how you're feeling right now?
I'm feeling pretty good. The recovery is going really well. I got some nerve endings coming back, so it's starting to have that sharp stinging pain. But right now I got a couple broken bones still in my shoulder that need to heal. Other than that, I'm doing pretty good.
Well, that's good. As we said before we went on the air, I'm just so thankful that you were being watched over that Sunday afternoon. And,
absolutely.
Again, I wanted to just let our viewers know, because we're going to be asking the viewers, our followers of SICW and our men and women and our law enforcement, our first responders, to kind of pitch in and help us out as we get towards June 3rd, because we all know when something like this happens, there's all those unexpected bills that come in, and so we want to try to help you and the family as much as possible, and that's why we're going to be doing this big fundraiser. So, you know, when something like this happens, you've never experienced that, of course.
No.
You went to work that morning on a typical Sunday morning, I assume.
Yes, sir.
And can you just kind of tell our viewers how that day was going until that point came up?
Well, for the most part, it was a pretty quiet day. I didn't have any calls in Duplo. I came home for lunch. My wife made me lunch, and then I left. And then I got back into town after eating. I get a call from dispatch to assist them with a subject with a weapon. And they told me where it was on McBride, so I responded that way. Well, they told me who the subject was, and I knew exactly who he was, and I knew what he was capable of doing. So I responded what I thought was cautiously. I heard Sergeant Ruberstel with Kokia say that he was going to respond too. So he was coming in off the Stolly side of McBride, and so I decided to come around the back end and try to intercept him there. I was told that he was in a Bobcat and he was driving down McBride at the time when I arrived on scene. Well, I did not know that he was out of the Bobcat. And as soon as I saw him, I positioned my car at an angle to try to protect myself, and I saw him walking down McBride southbound, and he had the rifle to his side. Well, immediately went for my gun, and I opened my door, told him to put the gun down, and then he shot me. He shot me right in the shoulder. It took me straight to the ground, and I'm looking at my arm and thinking that he might have severed my arm from my body, and I roll over, found out it was intact, so I started scooting back. When I scooted back, I looked up, and he was right above me with the rifle still in his hand. And I told him, I said, "Don't shoot me anymore, I'm hurt already." He told me to stay still. So when he told me to stay still, I thought there was a little bit of relief there that he was just going to leave. But then he opened my car door, and then I saw him turn back around. And when he turned back around, I knew he was going to shoot me again. And then when he fired that shot, I anticipated it, turned my head real quick, and then another shot went in my neck. And so he hopped into the car, my squad car, and then he drove off north on McBride I watched him turn around, and at the time he was turning around, Rubistel showed up on scene and asked me, he's like, "What do you want me to do, Pat?" I said, "Just stay with me. Don't let him shoot me again." And he come back flying by, and then next thing you know, I heard Rubistel call for the ambulance, and then they were lifting me into the ambulance.
Well, and I know, and I want to apologize to some of you who may be offended by the graphics of what the sergeant's describing to you there, but it's facts. You actually experienced that, and you were very fortunate, and we are very fortunate that he is here. And like I said, it was a terrible day. I know when the cavalry got there, their main concern was one, to get you to the hospital as quickly as possible. Sergeant Rubistel was there right away. It could have turned out a lot worse than it did, but we're so thankful that the help did show up, and that you ended up getting treated and get to the hospital, and we're able to sit here today. So you spent how many days in the hospital?
8 days.
8 days in the hospital.
Yep. I had 2 surgeries. The first surgery was that day I got shot, and then the second surgery was a few days after to fix the broken humor bone in my arm, my right arm.
And the overwhelmingly support from your brotherhood.
Oh, it's amazing.
It's been amazing. I know, and talking with Chief Blue from the DuPont Police Department and several other law enforcement brothers, they were concerned, and they were at the hospital with you, and that's got to mean something to you, to know that when the brotherhood comes together.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I knew that we have a big family in law enforcement and fire departments and paramedics, but then something like this happened to me, I just didn't realize how big it was.
Right.
I had officers stay the night, throughout the night. I had 2 armed U.S. Marshals watching my room, make sure nothing had happened to me. I can't thank people enough.
Well, and again, that's what it's about. You've been in law enforcement for what, about 12 years?
12 years,
12 years, and to have 12 years in this business, and that just goes to show, and it's kind of what we wanted to do, is show the followers today that in a blink of an eye, something like that can happen to our men and women that are out there that we rely on every day to protect us. Whether it's our law enforcement or the fire or the EMS, it can happen, and it's unfortunate that it can happen. But that's the world we're living into these days. And I can assure you, probably in your 12 years, you've probably thought about it, but just as quick as you thought about it, you put it out of your mind.
Yep.
Until that day comes, and then you're acting on your training, and it sounds like you did what you could. You can sit there and second guess yourself all day long, but that's not going to change anything that happens. But and that's what we wanted to do is we're going to be helping Sergeant Carrier out because, as we said at the beginning, there are those unexpected bills that will come in. It puts a strain on the family. Somebody told me maybe one of your daughters was getting married or somebody.
Yeah.
The wedding planned, and so we don't want that to be put aside unless she wants it to be put aside. But we got to have the family all together, and mom and dad, and so we're asking to keep up with our page here, and if you would just be prepared to help support this great fundraiser. It's going to be on Saturday, June the 3rd. It'll be at the Belle Claire Fairgrounds of Belleville, Illinois. We've got a committee that's put together of several of the law enforcement members. Some of the firefighters is helping out. We'll have some first responder equipment on site that day, so you'll be able to bring the youngsters out, or even you adults that like to come out and look at the fire trucks and the police cars. And then that night there will be a live professional wrestling match there to where we can raise funds to help the Sarge out. And like I said, I'm glad to see that you're able to sit here and talk with us because it could have really turned out bad.
Oh yeah, I mean, split second. I watched the CAD notes after all this when I got home from the hospital. It happened within 10 minutes from the time I got the call. to the time I was loaded up to the ambulance. So it's that fast.
It happens that quick. And so any of you are followers out there that are in the law enforcement, keep, or just all of you, just keep Sergeant Carrier and his family in your thoughts and prayers, because as I said from the beginning, they've got a journey, and we don't want them to have to go on that journey themselves. And that's why us here at SICW, who've been doing it for 50 years now, of trying to help out people when they end up in situations like this. And this is just another one of those milestones that we will help the family as much as we can, but we can't do it without the help of each and every one of you. So stay tuned. You'll see a lot more of this coming out. But mark that date on your social calendar, Saturday, June the 3rd at the Belle Claire Fairgrounds in Belleville, Illinois. Thank you for joining us today, and you'll be hearing a lot more about this in weeks to come. Thank you.
Herb, very touching interview, and as you said, a little graphic, but I think it's great the sergeant can talk about what happened and just why it's so important for us to do what we can to help them.
Well, our men and women in blue are going through some trying times nowadays, as we all know, and every time one of them leave their loved ones and go out there and perform their duties, you never know. And as you heard there, no idea in a situation like that was going to happen. You may think about it periodically, but to really have to relive it or live it like that is just unreal. And so that's why we want to try to do what we can to, not only is he having to go through the recovery of the injury that he sustained, the mental issues that it causes, he's going to have some time to recover from that. And we want you to try to help out if you can. And why don't you tell them how they can do that again?
Absolutely. You can help out by purchasing tickets at SICW.org. Tables are available for groups of 8. You can buy a table to sit there near the side of the ring, have a place for your food and drinks. It's at the Great Belle Claire Fairgrounds in Belleville, and there's sponsorships available. All that is on SICW.org. We do this great show every Sunday night, and we do it with the help of some of our sponsors. So let's take a few moments to listen to some words from our sponsors here at SICW. Wrestling fans, are you looking for those vintage toys, those hard-to-find 70s, 80s, and 90s action figures? G.I. Joe, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Star Wars, Transformers. Look no further than Snyder Toys. They will have what you're looking for. Give Robert Snyder a call at 618-314-3266 for all your vintage toy needs. Wrestling fans, SICW Wrestling has been providing fundraising opportunities for several decades for local communities and nonprofit organizations. If your community or organization is in need of a great fundraising opportunity, SICW Professional Wrestling is the way to go. For more information or to schedule an event, call 618-286-4848 or 618-719-1034. We'll bring the matches to you. Herb, you've already announced a great match set for Saturday, June 3rd, and what better for a police fundraiser to have a battle behind bars?
Well, and when you talk about a battle, I don't know if it's a battle or if this is just going to be an all-out war and a steel cage match. And of course, when you talk about a steel cage match, and it's not the old style of just the cyclone fencing. This is a real steel cage, and I got to say, this match that I was able to put together between the fan favorite Flash Flanagan, and Flash, he's one of your favorites, right?
He actually, on a recent episode of SICW.org, or SICW All-Star Wrestling, the fans heard Flash beg you not to bar him from SICW, not to bar Andrew Anderson and Kevin Sullivan, because he wanted to finish this.
Well, and that's it. And he's going to get his chance in that steel cage. He'll be going against another guy, the Purple Haze, Andrew Anderson, who's known all around the country, all around the world as one tough individual. But what even makes him just that much tougher is when you have his advisor or manager, none other than one of the great legends of all time, Kevin Sullivan, will be there. at ringside, and I know Kevin pretty well, and he's going to do whatever he can. For some reason, he's had a axe to grind with Flash Flanagan for several years, he has said, and they tried that here last time they were in town.
Absolutely, they did. It got very graphic. They tried to light Flash Flanagan on fire to the point senior referee Nick Ridenauer has come out and said he will not take part in another match like that.
Right, and it was just fortunate that referee Ridenauer was really on his A game that night because it was one click away from that lighter that stopped a tragedy from happening. And so on June 3rd, Flash Flanagan will get his request to be in that steel cage against Andrew Anderson with Kevin Sullivan. So mark that on your calendar, Saturday night, June 3rd at the Belle Claire Fairgrounds.
Herb, what do you say we go back to January of this year when that match happened down at the East Carondelet Community Center? And for the fans that weren't there, let them just see the battle between Flash Flanagan and the Purple Haze Andrew Anderson and the little bit of assistance that Kevin Sullivan was giving.
Yeah, I just want to warn the viewers that, and Brian had just alluded to that, we weren't going to tolerate that. In fact, we were barred Kevin Sullivan and Andrew Anderson from coming back, but as you said, Flash Flanagan demanded and said, no, if you do that, I'm leaving SICW and I'll go find him somewhere else. So, but what better way to let him come back and try to get his evens right here in Belleville, Illinois.
Fans, let's take a look at that footage from back in January at the East Carondelet Community Center.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for your semifinal bout of the evening. It is a grudge match, set for one fall.
Well, I'm ready for this one, Brian.
Oh, it's going to be a great match here.
Well, this is the guy, the new Purple Haze, Andrew Anderson. And Brian, this guy is definitely one of the toughest men in the business today. And when you add Kevin Sullivan,
that's what I was just going to say. If you think he's tough, look at what's on the side of the ring there.
that's double trouble.
But the man he's against is also one of the toughest in the business.
Oh, they don't come much tougher than Flash Flanagan on the baby side here. He's hung with the best. And right now,
Hey, lady, you in the red. You kiss your husband with that mouth? Huh? You kiss her? Yeah? Come on in here, punk. Huh? Oh, listen. First of all, smile for me, pal. Oh, no.
well, already Andrew Anderson, not liked by the SICW fans.
But he stopped his tirade real quick when he saw Flash Flanagan showing up.
Well, like you said, Flash Flanagan has never, ever, in the history that I've known him, backed down from any challenge.
And staring eye to eye with Kevin Sullivan right now.
Kevin Sullivan at ringside, and there is no love lost between these two. This dates back to the days when Flash was in Puerto Rico. So it's definitely
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is your semifinal bout of the evening. Set for one fall, 30-minute time limit. When the action begins, your referee in charge is Nick Ridenauer. Introducing first, accompanied to the ring by the Taskmaster, Kevin Sullivan. From New York City, weighing 284 pounds, he is the Purple Haze, Andrew Anderson.
well, you talk about booze.
From Indianapolis,
I want to bet you're going to hear a lot of cheers.
They're already starting. Crowd is on their feet.
Flanagan! Hey, you forgot to announce to us from Indianapolis, Indiana, the meth capital of the world, Flash, the Flush, Flanagan.
Andrew Anderson giving his own introductions there.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to talk to you man to man. Flash, all these people know you're as evil as I am, much evil than the Purple Haze himself. You know.
Andrew Anderson attacking Flash Flanagan from behind here to start this match. Kevin Sullivan was giving a little introduction of his history with Flash Flanagan, and Purple Haze had had enough, and he was ready to take him out.
Well, this is the one we've been talking about for several months now. We knew it was coming, and like I said, Andrew Anderson has been all over the country recently. Flash Flanagan been all over. And right now they're here in SICW with Kevin Sullivan at ringside. I guarantee you there's no promotion other than SICW in the Midwest that can say Kevin Sullivan's been at ringside.
I would definitely agree with that. Flash Flanagan taking him for a trip around the world there, hitting all the turnbuckles. Big elbow drops Andrew Anderson to the mat.
And now Anderson backing out.
Step out and speak with his mentor there.
Well, and that's what I like about Flash, because he's got eyes in the back of his head, especially when he knows there's somebody like Kevin Sullivan at ringside. Oh, big rights by the Purple Haze.
And Purple Haze and Flash are at it, and the fans are going after Kevin Sullivan.
Uh-oh. Somebody knock him down. I don't know. And now what's Kevin Sullivan now? Looks like he's trying to talk to the referee about something. And now, Anderson, what's he doing now? Oh.
I think he got a little handoff from Kevin Sullivan.
What's that he's got?
It looks like some type of spike or sharp tool.
Well, you know, Kevin Sullivan was known for that. Oh! And now, what's the referee? He's trying to keep his eyes open.
He's not sure what's going on. He turned around. Flash has a stick in his hand.
Flash has got a stick, and now he's going outside. Kevin Sullivan's backing up. Flash Flanagan down on the ring apron. But wait a minute, there's something laying in the ring. Kevin Sullivan backing up. Flash Flanagan, and now Anderson grabs Flash Flanagan, throws him back in the ring. Anderson comes in, and Flanagan just going, delivering those punches right to the head. Now, both back outside. Dr. Drew he says, I'm getting out of here. It's getting too crazy for me. And I don't blame him. I'm glad we're up here, Brian.
Absolutely, far enough away.
And now, what?
Oh,
what is
lighter
that?
fluid. He's pouring lighter fluid on Flash Flanagan.
Oh, no. Wait a minute.
No. Something's got to. No.
What
no,
the heck?
We can't have this.
What are they doing? Referee trying to stop him. He had something. Referee's calling for the bell. Flash Flanagan. Was something in a jug? Was that?
It looked like a jug of lighter fluid.
And now Flash going to work. Kevin Sullivan. Oh, Anderson's been opened up. Flash continues to work. Well, he said he was coming for war. You saw the videos that Flash did, the interview I did with him, the video that Kevin Sullivan sent us. Flash Flanagan continues to work on. Here come some guys out of the locker room. Here comes the top guns. Austin, the astonishing one, getting Flash off of Andrew Anderson. But Anderson says, no, you're not going to stop me. And now he throws Brandon Beretta off and Joey Benetti, the top guns. Here comes Axe, Anderson, and Flash.
The intern's in the ring.
Intern's in there. This is a war. Flash Flanagan and
additional referees are showing up here at ringside now.
Well, and they're being smart. They're staying out of it. And there goes Brandon Beretta, thrown out, and now Flash puts a super kick right on Anderson that knocks him down.
Anderson wisely rolling out of that ring.
Kevin Sullivan still at ringside. The intern out there with the purple haze. I don't know where Dr. Drew is.
Purple Haze climbing in for another round.
Well, Flash goes after him with that kendo stick. What a wild one, Brian. A semi-main event. Oh, my gosh. They're trying to hold Flash. They're trying to hold the Purple Haze back. And now he
Flash
just
is hitting them.
Flash. Oh, and Anderson still taking it to them all. These two. Holy cow. Flash Flanagan and the Purple Haze have just went to war. Anderson now throwing chairs, and there you see Flash sitting down. You want to throw him in? Come on. We'll all sit down. This is our ring. This is SICW. And listen to the crowd. They know, it's Anderson. Throws the announcer's table in the ring. Now what's he trying to do? This is a wild man, Brian.
I'm not sure what he's trying to do. If it's not bolted down, he's throwing it in the ring.
Have you seen Dr. Drew?
All right.
I hear him.
Nick Reinauer, the official referee. What the heck is the official result? All right. Due to all of the weaponry, the attempt to set Flash on fire, the stick, this is a double disqualification, ladies and gentlemen. Both Andrew Anderson.
Not sure that's how they wanted it to end in a double disqualification
have
here.
been disqualified. Please take care of the new table.
Wow.
Flash. My God. They doused you with lighter fluid. Thank God the lighter wouldn't light. That was chaotic. This story with you and Kevin Sullivan, I guess it's not over. We didn't think they were going to try to light you on fire. But,
yeah, Kevin Sullivan, you want a war with all my Flasher Maniacs out here? You got one!
Well, you hear.
I don't think we've seen the last of Kevin Sullivan.
Oh, look at this. Here's
Andrew
Anderson
Anderson's
back. Andrew Anderson coming in. Here comes Kevin Sullivan. Fans, this isn't over yet.
Herb, what a match. I have no idea what is going to happen on June 3rd. and will the cage be able to contain them?
Well, I hope so, but it's a law enforcement fundraiser. It's going to be plenty of backup there, as we say. So Kevin Sullivan better remember that. I'm sure Sergeant Carrier will have plenty of his brothers and sisters there that night, and Kevin Sullivan better just keep his nose cleaned, or as you said, maybe he'll end up taking a trip to the Great Bar Hotel.
Oh, I tell you what. And fans, you can see that by going to SICW.org and getting your tickets now. Get those tickets as we get closer to the event. There's tables available, sponsorships available. You want to join us that night. We have another break here excuse me. We're going to take another break here to hear from some of our great sponsors at SICW All-Star Wrestling.
Tune in every Sunday night right after SICW All-Star Wrestling for the Falls Count Everywhere podcast, streaming live at 9 p.m. Central Time on Facebook and YouTube. Join your hosts, the Gym City Mouth, Z-Miz, and ring veteran Rough Cut Rick Ruby as they bring you notable backstage news from the wrestling world, promoting upcoming wrestling shows from other companies around multiple local regions, and an in-depth interview with a featured guest in the professional wrestling industry every week. Follow, like, and subscribe to Falls Count Everywhere on Facebook and YouTube, also available on Twitter at the FCE Podcast. Wrestling superstar Bobby D now has his own line of apparel and his own online wrestling merchandise store. Visit www.bobbydwrestling.com for all of the great wrestling memorabilia from Belleville's own Bobby D. Wrestling fans, come on out to the Triple Crown Dance on Wednesday, May 24th at 4 p.m. at the Belclair Fairgrounds. A night of Western band music, dinner, and much more fun, sponsored by the St. Clair County Office on Aging. Come on out and have a good time. For ticket information, call 618-234-4410, extension 7044.
Herb, June 3rd is going to be a great night, and as we get closer, I'm sure you're going to have a few more tricks up your sleeve that you'll be announcing.
Oh yeah, it'll be a full card that night of SICW action, and as we said, the locker room is coming together for this because they know it's such a great cause. So we will have some other surprises. We'll be announcing some other matches as we get closer, but the main event is by far worth the price of your admission to come and watch Flash Flanagan get even with Andrew Anderson, the Purple Haze, and Kevin Sullivan. Hopefully that happens. But just to come out and show your support for a great cause, because as I've said many times in the past, our law enforcement is going through a lot nowadays, and it seems that they're out of sight, out of mind until we need them, and this is one of the ways that we need to show our support. So come out and help the family of Sergeant Patrick Carrier.
Absolutely. Fans, as we do every Sunday night, we like to bring you a little bit of some classic footage to show you the memories and the tradition that SICW is keeping alive. So let's take a moment and look at some classic footage from back in the days of wrestling at the Chase.
A one fall with a 15-minute time limit. Introducing from Denton, Texas, weighing 235 pounds, Kevin Von Erich. From Charlotte, North Carolina, weighing 236 pounds, Ron Starr. Referee Chuck Raleigh.
The fans here in the KPLR TV studio have a tough choice as Ron Starr and Kevin Von Erich shake hands. Who to root for? I imagine they'll try to split it and root for both because there should be some dandy wrestling involved in this. Starr goes behind Kevin. Von Erich switches nicely. He's behind Starr. Starr returns the favor, takes Kevin down, tried to roll him into a cradle. Kevin reaches behind him. Starr blocks that with the arm. Kevin brings Starr over the hip, comes up with a wrist lock on Ron Starr. Starr rolls over, gets Chuck Riley. Kevin Von Erich thrown over the side by Ron Starr. A fast-moving exchange that even involved the referee, Chuck Riley. Starr checks to make sure Riley's okay, which he is. A lot of referees will tell you a match like this with good, quick, scientific action is sometimes harder to work than a rough match. Clean break. The crowd appreciates it. Ron Starr with an arm bar, working also in the wrist area on Kevin Von Erich. Starr twists the arm of Kevin. Starr twisting some more, trying to force Kevin down to the mat. Starr really applying the pressure to Kevin Von Erich, and you can see right where that leg is, underneath the shoulder, making it even harder for Kevin Von Erich to regain his feet. So Kevin flips over, comes up, counters to a wrist lock, down goes Starr. Good move by Kevin Von Erich. Two good wrestlers here. How do you handicap one like this, Mick? Tough one to pick.
This is really tough. I mean, scientific and great. Two top wrestlers right here. This Starr is something else, you know?
Good counter there by Starr to go to the hammerlock on Kevin Von Erich. Kevin trying to come to his feet while trapped in the hammerlock of Ron Starr. Counter by Kevin Von Erich. This will be a good lesson on counters, takedowns, escapes. Starr comes up on top, goes behind Kevin. Kevin rolls over and out. They both come up quickly and they're eye to eye. Good wrestling by both men, and they know it. They respect each other. Something that Dory Funk Jr. talked about last weekend when he said, well, I want to wrestle him, but I respect him too. I don't know if Dory Jr. has that much respect for Dick Murdoch, though. He respects his toughness, I'm sure, and the fact that he's won many big matches. But whether or not he respects him in terms of a professional level of the type of tactics that Murdoch uses, well, that I would question whether Dory Jr. has that type of respect for someone like Dick Murdoch. He apparently does for the Von Erich clan. Ron Starr with the side headlock on Kevin Von Erich. Wonder if Starr is thinking about that body scissors Kevin has been developing. He can use it both as a pin, and we hear now as a submission. He's developed enough strength in his legs. It's very important, of course, the positioning of the legs, the extension of the muscles so that they're in the proper spot of the opponent's body. Starr twisting back on Kevin Von Erich's head with that side headlock. Of course, a lot of the fans have seen some of the pictures that were contained in the wrestling program of that body scissors. Flying tackle by Starr, and that showed photos of hip toss by Kevin Von Erich. Kevin kicked away by Starr. No body press there. Side headlock by Starr. Down goes Kevin. As we were saying, it was actually a sequence of photos which showed Kevin starting out on the burlap bag. Full bag, full of, I believe it was wheat at the time. Kevin put the body scissors on that bag, and as he can do very often now, literally squeezed it, smashed the bag wide open, and emptied that bag. Now think, if he can do that with a burlap bag around wheat, and that is difficult to do. Try it sometime. Find out how hard it is to do. Think what he can do to someone's midsection.
Yeah, I hate to see that happen.
There's the head scissors by Kevin Von Erich. Starr ended up in the ropes, and Starr has to shake his head. That head scissors obviously just as effective as the body scissors.
The one thing about Von Erich, he's got that drop kick, they got that claw hole, and then, you know, they got so many holds.
So many things you can think about and worry about. That body scissors, though, really a hold that he got the idea from Joe Stecker. Joe Stecker, by way of saying much, I got to say, because I believe Stecker was dead by the time Kevin was born. Stecker was a three-time world heavyweight champion, originally winning the title in 1915. His last reign began when he won it here in St. Louis in 1925.
5 minutes have elapsed, 10 minutes left.
Joe Stecker popularized the body scissors, used it as a submission hold, and like Kevin, trained by breaking open bags of wheat. Sam Muchnick was aware of this. He'd seen Stecker when Sam was a sports writer for the old St. Louis Times, and when he saw Kevin, the power that Kevin had in his legs, he got Kevin aside and says, Kevin, this is something you should think about. He explained a little bit about it to him. Kevin did some research on his own, and with the help of his father and brother David, trained on strengthening those legs, and now that body scissors is just about perfected. Starr carrying Kevin Von Erich to the corner. Kevin lifted over the side. Chuck Rowley wants a clean break and gets one from Ron Starr. Another round of applause for two sportsmanlike competitors, Ron Starr and Kevin Von Erich. Kevin with a leg dive, doesn't get there. Starr eluded it. Both men pretty quick. Right now it's like a chess match. Each one's looking for a little opening. Well, where can I get into this guy? What can I do to him to slow him down or get him down the mat? Star shakes his head. You're not going to get me that way. They tie up. Star moves behind Kevin Von Erich with a full Nelson. Kevin, will he try to muscle his way out of it? Reaches behind for Star's head. Couldn't pull him forward. Kevin flexing. Drops out. Beautiful move by Kevin Von Erich. Star managed to roll him away. Good escape by Kevin Von Erich. Star shakes his head, and I think it's as much an admiration and respect for Kevin's ability as anything. Star with a fireman's carry. Comes up with an arm lock on Kevin Von Erich. Star puts his knee against Kevin's head. Kevin rolls under, forcing his way to his feet. No, he's not coming off that knee because Star has the leverage right now. Star pulling on the arm of Kevin Von Erich. Pretty even so far. A lot of good moves by both men. Oh, Kevin got out and came out flying with a drop kick. Kevin landed heavily, and Star got tagged just on the face. He almost got away, but not quite. And Kevin landed heavily himself because his drop kick was not totally accurate, and that allowed Star to regain the armbar on Kevin Von Erich. Kevin hooked the leg. He was going to go for the fireman's carry. Star realized it and lifted that leg away. The two men end up in the ropes. Clean break by Kevin Von Erich. Well, neither man's had much of an edge yet. No near pins. Pretty even so far. Good test. A good demonstration of holds. I don't think the match between Dory Funk Jr. and Dick Murdoch is going to be quite like this. Murdoch's a heck of a wrestler. Don't kid yourself. He knows what to do. He knows the holds. He knows the escapes. He knows how to get those quick little cradles that mean victory sometime. That could end up a war. And I'll tell you, when Kevin Von Erich takes on Bobby Duncombe, Duncombe's a totally different type of opponent than Ron Starr. Duncombe, much bigger, coming in around 290 pounds. He's a brawler. He gets in there, uses his weight, leans on him, into him constantly, using his weight and his size, trying to wear down an opponent. And of course, he has that bulldog headlock, which has been very effective for him. So Kevin Von Erich first with Ron Starr, and then, of course, coming up with Bobby Duncombe. Two tough tests for Kevin Von Erich, two totally different styles. Starr dumps Kevin over and gets his arm free. Kevin says, pretty good, good move. A little bit of congratulations from Kevin Von Erich, which doesn't change the fact he'd love nothing better than to get Starr's shoulders on that mat. Short arm scissors by Ron Starr, figure four arm lock if you prefer that tag to it. Whatever name you apply, that is a very good hold, and that could be a toughie for Kevin to get out of. Kevin rolls over, Starr rolls right with him. Good move by Starr there. The short arm scissors by Ron Starr and Kevin Von Erich. And even in a match like this, with two scientific wrestlers involved, two men who believe in sportsmanship, tempers can get frayed, get hot, you get angry, something doesn't work right for you, the perspiration's in your eyes are burning a little bit, you're getting a mat burn. Pretty easy to lose your temper in there. Rolling short arm scissors now by Ron Starr. Hey, this could be followed up by a pin or a submission. Ron Starr with the rolling short arm scissors, bringing Kevin Von Erich over once more.
10 minutes have expired, 5 minutes left.
They rolled and rolled and rolled. Kevin managed to jackknife himself back over on top. They ended up in the ropes, and once more, clean break by both men. Side headlock by Kevin Von Erich on Ron Starr. Kevin tossed to the ropes. Hip toss by Starr. Kevin hangs on, but it's Starr who comes up with the hold. Kevin had a good idea hanging on to the arm, but Starr countered quickly inside, came up with that short arm scissors once more on Kevin Von Erich. This is the type of hold that can cut off the blood flow to Kevin's hand, and you'll have to watch that carefully. It really could immobilize that left hand. Oop, look out, Starr was in a cradle. That's as close as we've been to a pin there. He had a count of two on Starr's shoulders, and it caused Starr to release the short arm scissors. Another warm round of applause for Ron Starr and Kevin Von Erich. Cautiously, tentatively, they reach out, lock fingers. Test of strength between Ron Starr and Kevin Von Erich. Both men bending, twisting, trying to find out where the edge is. They come around backwards, come around frontwards. Kevin comes out, gets a wrist lock. Good work by Kevin Von Erich on Ron Starr. Starr tossed over the hip. Kevin with the wrist lock. Starr cries out as Kevin pours on the pressure with that wrist lock. Now Starr twists about. Couldn't bring it all the way over. Too much pressure from Kevin Von Erich.
Three minutes left, 3 minutes.
3 minutes remain in a very even battle between Ron Starr and Kevin Von Erich. Kevin tripped down by Starr. Kevin counters nicely to the hammerlock on Ron Starr. Kevin Von Erich with the hammerlock. Chuck Riley is told by Starr that Starr will not give up. Kevin twists that hammerlock even further up behind the back of Ron Starr. You're going to have to earn it, says Kevin to Ron Starr. Starr with a fireman's carry breaks the arm free. Starr was going to pounce. Kevin was already poised to spring. Starr locks both arms, double arm lock. He might be able to flip him over with a double arm suplex, but Kevin can get underneath too. Double arm suplex by Starr. He goes for the pin. Count of one. Kevin Von Erich throws off Ron Starr. Starr going for the vertical suplex. Yes, the suplex by Ron Starr. This could be it. No, not even a count of one. And Kevin Von Erich survives the suplex. Von Erich with a blow to the stomach and then a drop kick. Floors Ron Starr. Kevin trips the legs to dump Ron Starr. Leg snap by Kevin Von Erich. The leg snap. Yanking back on that hamstring, snapping it, hurting it. Elbow smashed to the head by Ron Starr. The match getting a little rougher now. The temper's getting a little bit more worn. Kevin Von Erich flipped to the ropes. Oh, they both tried drop kicks. Both men tried drop kicks, and both men go down. They'll have a count of 10. Starr was up for the drop kick, just as Kevin Von Erich went up to try a drop kick himself.
1 minute left, 1 minute.
Only a minute remaining. Kevin lifts Starr, body slam by Kevin Von Erich. He covers Starr, but cannot keep those shoulders down. Kevin hits the rope. What's this? Giant splash? Oh, he missed. Starr rolled away. The giant splash missed. Starr mounts the ropes. Starr with the atomic drop, and he misses. Starr trying to dive bomb Kevin Von Erich off the ropes, but Kevin had enough presence of mind to roll away. Both men a bit the worse for wear right now. Kevin whipped to the ropes. Starr tries to flip him. Jackknife and cradle. Jackknife and cradle. Count of one. Oh, and Starr rolls those shoulders off. There's the body scissors. There's that body scissors, and Starr goes for the ropes. The body scissors by Kevin Von Erich, and Starr had to go for the ropes to save himself. Oh, that body scissors was on Ron Starr, and Starr is gasping as he comes up. There's the bell, and we may almost have seen the debut of that body scissors as a submission hold on television, but they were too near the ropes, and as soon as Kevin Von Erich put it on, Starr grabbed those ropes. They congratulate each other and are rewarded with a warm round of applause. They deserve it. Great match. Here's Mickey.
With time expiring, referee Chuck Riley declares the match a draw.
Herb, another great Sunday night episode of SICW All-Star Wrestling, and the fans aren't going to want to miss the next few weeks when we get to recap everything that went down last night at the Aviator Hotel.
I don't want to miss it because, you know, it was so busy there. There's a lot I didn't get to see. There was a lot of fans that come up that, you know, you were trying to talk to, and then somebody else would come up and tug on you. And so I want to go back and see what I missed, and we'll be showing you a lot of that over the next couple of weeks. So stay tuned. We're actually, you know, we're really excited to be able to bring you this program every Sunday night. Thank you for following us on our social media platforms, and can't say enough how much we appreciate it. And we look forward to being here every Sunday night.
Absolutely. So fans, until next Sunday night when we bring you more footage, visit SICW.org and get your tickets for the big event June 3rd at the Belle Claire Fairgrounds. We'll see you next Sunday.